Research and development. I mentioned that Japanese society is aging. The biggest concern of the population for the moment is whether they can receive a fair amount of their pension, whether there will be enough elderly care home, whether there will be properly treated when they become they get a disease, whether there's a cure for the elderly, the disease of elderly people. All this area is actually a big potential area where there's lot of need, lot of people want to do something in Japan. The demand is there, but the supply is not catching up. And since I know that there's a lot of research also going on in university and research institution in this area of the world, I'm sure there are a lot of areas where joint research and development is possible, and I know that some of them are taking place. Renewable energy, that's another area where there's already a cooperation. There's a Japanese diesel engine manufacturer called Yanmar, which is testing a prototype of the cogenerator. It's a small, tiny unit which can generate a big hospital's electricity and hot water, and they are bringing it in the new energy research centers. I think it was somewhere near here, and testing with biofuel and biogas, and I think they have set up another unit in Newcastle University. So this is another area of cooperation that is can develop in the future. Creative industry and pop culture. I have been surprised in visiting many universities in Scotland and north of England, that there's now a growing number of students who wish to take Japanese as a second language. Well, I don't know about university here because there may not be courses of Japanese, but the reason for it is that there is a Pokemon generation. You know? The generation who grew up with Japanese video games and you know how to play PlayStation, reading Japanese anime, watching Japanese TV, who at certain stage of their life try to read the original strategy book in Japanese, or try to understand the websites dedicated for these games in Japanese, and they start learning Japanese, and they keep on this interest, and although they have gone to study some other subject, they want to keep the interest in Japanese. So this is a totally different type of generation that existed in the past, who perhaps they wanted to they thought that Japan is good for business, for career, so they started learning Japanese because they thought, or because of the Japanese manufacturing skill. They thought it's good to learn Japanese because they can learn about Japanese manufacturing process, etc. So it's a totally different generation, which is growing. And my thesis is that we talked about the image of Japan. I think that there was a question to Marie. It's not really the Japanness that is counting anymore, but it's some of the specific values that Japan holds, which is attracting many different segments of population and generation. Such as, if you go back to the fundamental basic democracy, etc., this is another segment, and pop culture is another segment. So you can see a kind of maturing of relation, and the interest now is through the where the interest of each individual lies, and it's a much wider kind of relation. Each one can have his own idea or interest, and through it can reach one day Japan, or it may not, but many people find out that there's something interesting in their field in Japan. So this is a new type of relation that is beginning, and my thesis is that we have to take care of this relation, and we have to make use of this relation and engage the younger generation, encourage the younger generation to have this kind of interest, and to think about what we can do to promote and sustain that relation in order to have a further relation in the future. I have mentioned already the aging society. There you may know that we have a much higher speed of aging in terms of speed, because we have an enormous baby boomer generation, which is at the same time going into, they are just about to in the retirement age now, and going upwards. So the speed of change is very big. Although UK has had a more slow but gradual aging process, but we share the same kind of problems that some of have been dealt with much more wisely in the UK. There are also new innovation coming in Japan being tested because of this speed of aging. It may work, it may not work, but I'm sensing that there are many people both in Japan and UK interested in how we are solving these problems in each other's country. Multicultural society, there we are much behind the UK. I think we just started to have new immigrants. We have because of the declining population, we have just started to have nurses and elderly care people from Southeast Asia. I think this trend will grow, and we have also Japanese former immigrant, second, third generation from South America coming to Japan to work. But this trend is probably growing, and we have a lot to learn from the UK on how to deal with this phenomenon. Education is another area where we can learn each other also.